Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to another English language lesson for grade 7 with yours truly, Sir Jared McFoy. Can you think about the last time you wrote a letter? Can you think about the last time you went to a post office? Now, if you like me, it has been a while. Now, today we want to dive into letter writing. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we learn about writing letters. Now, the most commonly used form of written communication is the letter for both social and business purposes. The ability to write letters is an important accomplishment for effective communication. You need to know the essential of letter writing, and these include certain definite principles laid down by convention and certain innovations that have been made to conform to changes in society and in business organizations. So writing letters is a very important skill, and there are various types of letters, and we would like to explore that today. Now, there are three general principles on which all letters are based. Let's look at them. 1. Clarity. This ensures that the content is clearly expressed and that there is no ambiguity. Now, when you're writing your letters, you want to ensure that your letter it's clear. As I like to say, it's clear as day. You want anybody that picks up your letter and read it, they should be able to understand. There should be no double meaning. It should be clear. 2. Conciseness. All irrelevant and uninteresting details which interfere with effective communication must be excluded. So you want to be able to get to your point, and you want to be able to talk about it, to discuss it. You don't want to go off track. So if you're writing a letter inviting someone to a party, you don't want to talk about the enjoyable time you had at church last Sunday, because that won't be relevant. And then we have courtesy. In all letters, social as well as business, you must be polite and courteous in tone. Abusive language, irony, sarcasm are objectionable. So when you're writing your letter, the words that you use should come across as polite as possible to your reader. Now let's look at the various forms of address that we have. Because when we're writing a letter, depending on the type, there are various ways we can go about writing the address. Now, the address of the sender is written at the top right-hand corner. There should be no abbreviation. Somebody say no abbreviation. Again, no abbreviation. Now, the block form. Let's dive into this. Let's look at an example of an address. We have 215 Tulip Avenue, Bassville, Holloway, the 12th of December, 2004. And I want you to look how everything is aligned to the left-hand corner of the paper, of your screen. So when you're writing and address in the block style, you want to ensure that your address is on the left-hand corner of your paper. The block form, in which all lines have the same indentation, is generally used in business letters, but it is now commonly used in the friendly or social letter. Now let's look at how we go about to punctuate our address. In the fully punctuated address, commas are used after names of street, town, state, and between the day of the month and the year. A period, also known as a full stop, is placed at the end of the heading. In the unpunctuated form, no punctuation marks. Somebody say no punctuation mark. No punctuation marks are used. No period is placed at the end of the heading. Omission of all punctuation marks are acceptable in addresses. Let's look at the open or punctuated form. 35 High Street, San Fernando, Trinidad, 30th of June, 2005. Now you notice there's open. We don't have any punctuation marks. Take a good look from top to bottom. So this is the open style or the open format. And as it relates to the fully punctuated form, let's examine this. 35 High Street, comma, San Fernando, comma, Trinidad, period, June 30th, comma, 2005. So you see there's a difference. The one before, the example before that we looked at, had no punctuation marks, but this one is fully punctuated. So you can choose which style you would like to use in your letter. Now let's look at the inside address. This is positioned flush left against the left margin. It contains the following elements: the name of the person or company to whom the letter is being sent, the company's address, which includes street, city, and country. Now let's look at an example of an inside address. Mr. J.W. Bennett, Excel Furnishings Limited, 5 Marigold Road, Kensington, Jamaica. Let's look at it again. Mr. J.W. Bennett, Excel Furnishings Limited, 5 Marigold Road, Kensington, Jamaica. So this is an example of an inside address. Now these elements should appear in the following order. We should have a courtesy title followed by full name. So Mr., you have Mrs., Miss, Mr., and then we have, for example, Mr. Raymond Jones. B, the complete and official name of the company. C, the department to which the letter is being sent. And D, the company's full name. Now let's go this back again. So we have the courtesy title first, followed by the full name, Mr., Mrs., Miss, and in this example we have Mr. Raymond Jones. Then we have the complete and official name of the company, the department to which the letter is being sent, and finally, the company's full address. The salutation. So right now, if you notice that we're looking at the various parts of a letter. We would have looked at the address and the ways we can go about writing the address. We talked about the fully punctuated, the open punctuated. We have the block style. We looked at the inside address, and now we're looking at the salutation. Now this is the greeting which appears immediately before the body of the letter. It is placed 2 lines below the inside address. Salutation usually begins with the word dear. So if you notice, we're doing it in order. We got to get the address. And then when we come to the formal type of letter, which we'll discuss, to let you realize we need 2 addresses there. If it's informal, 1 can work. So we have the address, then we go down to the salutation. It varies in accordance with the degree of intimacy between the sender and the recipient. Formal letters use the following forms: dear sir, dear sirs, dear madam, sirs, dear, Mr., Mrs., Miss, J. Mason. We have dear madam or sir, dear editor, dear customer, dear manager. So your salutation would vary according to the degree of intimacy. Now if it's an informal letter and you know your friend Susie, you said, dear Susie, how are you? Versus if it's a formal letter, there's a different way you want to go about writing it. You want it to have that professional touch, that business-like touch or tone to it. Now friendly letters, they use the following forms: dear Joan, hello Mike, my dear Doro. Now do you notice that there's a difference? There's a difference in tone. Look at it. We have dear sirs versus if you say dear sirs versus dear Joan. So it tells me that, you know what, with the examples at the bottom, you know that person, you have a close relationship with them. Versus in a formal case, you might not have such a close or an intimate relationship. Now as it relates to the body of the letter, the paragraph begins flush left in the block form. So if you're writing your letter in the block form, when it comes to your body, you will ensure that your paragraph begins on the left. It aligns with your address and everything. So when somebody's looking at your letter, once it's in block style, everything is going to be aligned on the left. And when we come more to formal letters, you have an idea what we're talking about. You'll actually be able to see it. In the modified block form, they are indented. Each paragraph is separated by a line space. So if you're going to use the modified block style, when you're writing the body, you are going to indent, and you're also going to do what? You are going to separate the paragraphs by a line. So when you write it, okay, I'm finished with paragraph 1, skip a line, let me indent and begin paragraph 2. Are we on the same page, boys and girls? I hope that we are. Now, as it relates to the complementary clause and signature, this appears one line space after the body of the letter. So after you have completed writing your body, okay, let me skip this line and then you begin. It appears flush left in the block style, as I would have said earlier. In the modified block, it appears to the right of the center of the page. The first word of the complementary clause is capitalized. You heard that? The first word is capitalized. The clause can be formal or informal, depending on your relationship with the reader. So it always goes back to the relationship that you have with the reader, with the person that's going to be receiving this letter. Complementary clause and signature. Let's look at some examples. In the formal case, you have yours faithfully, yours sincerely, yours cordially, yours respectfully. And in the informal style, best regards, best wishes, regards, kindness regards. And the signature. This appears directly under the complementary clause. In an official business communication, the writer's name is typed below the signature. You heard that? In an official business communication, the writer's name is typed below the signature. Now, as it relates to the informal letters, I want you to look at that style there. You have the address on this side here, the date, salutation, body, complementary clause, and signature. Take a good look again, boys and girls. And let's look at an example. Sector 17, Vashi, New Bombay, the 6th of July, 2013. Dear Maya, thank you very much for your last letter. It was great to hear from you after so many months. You seem to be having a nice time in France. Thanks a lot for the photographs. I absolutely love that snap of yours standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. France looks stunning. Someday I would definitely like to go there. There's not much happening here. I am busy with my work and kids. By the way, are you coming home anytime soon? If you are, let me know the dates and we can arrange to meet up. Hope to see you soon. Aditi. So this is an example here of an informal letter. And we hear the tone. It's so friendly, right? It's social. Versus with the formal letter. Let's look at this. D. 108 Neptune Society. DS Marge, Lower Parcel, Mumbai, 400008, 11th June 2018. To the editor-in-chief, Hadistan Tunes, Main Street, Mumbai, 400001. Sir, and then we have the subject line, which is very important when we're dealing with the formal letter, because when writing formal letter, the subject line is like a summary of what the entire letter is about. Construction work in our locality during monsoon season causing us difficulties. Throughout the medium of your esteem and respected daily, I wish to inform the municipal authorities of the difficulties the residents of my locality are facing due to the construction and repair work currently happening in our area. Monsoon season has started a few days ago and is compounding our problems. The repair work has been ongoing for 5 weeks now and is falling way behind schedule. And now, with the current weather conditions, we are having persistent problems of waterlogging and flooding in our area. Another worry is about the accidents that may occur due to the debris lying around the road. Diseases caused due to waterlogging are another one of our concerns. Therefore, I wish to draw the attention of the concerned authorities with the help of your newspaper. Hopefully, you will be able to help us in drawing their attention and resolving this matter at the earliest. Thank you. Yours sincerely. You have the signature, Mr. X, Y, and Z. So let's say his name is Mr. Brian. He's going to sign. If he's Brian Jones, Brian Williams, and then at the bottom he'll type Mr. Brian Jones. Now I'm quite sure you would have observed the difference in tone with the informal to the formal letter. It sounds different. Now, for homework, I want you to write an informal letter to your friend who you have not seen for months, telling him or her how you have been spending these months at home. And then I want you to write a formal letter to the Minister of Education explaining how this pandemic has affected your learning. So you're going to have some practice writing an informal letter and practice writing a formal letter. So do have a lot of fun, boys and girls. I just want to thank you for participating in today's class. I hope you would have learned something new. And please be safe. Please be respectful. And until we meet again, Sir Jared out.